So let's get on with what you can do with some of these guys. So as far as watercoloring goes, I am using watercolor paper, and I did stamp a couple of images, but I'm going to show you. I'm also going to work on my craft mat and also show you on the Versamat. And I left this here to show you that I always am working on scrap paper, and you can see that I really, I stamp a lot on scrap paper. I even squeeze out my shimmer brushes to get them going and flowing, which you can also do on your craft mat. But this is going in the garbage. But I wanted to let you know you always should have scrap that you work on. That's really important. The other thing is to work on the Versamat, because this is great for stamping on, and that's important as well. Now with watercolor paper, we are using our Black Intense, but some of you might have this. And if you decide to go with the kit for me and you don't have either one, I will be ordering some mementos. So this is also another great one to use for watercolor or any kind of coloring in that you want to do where you're adding water, because what happens is it doesn't dilute the black ink and it shouldn't smudge or smear. So that's why it's important. Where all of these other ink pads are dye-based, right? So we can still use it, but you might lose a little quality of the depth of the ink. But we will be doing that too, so it's not a biggie. But I'm just letting you know, for this purposes, we are using these. So I wanted to show you. I stamped the seashells, you could see. And I'm working with Under the Deep right now. And I'll just show you the seahorse, because I figured that would be one everybody loves, the dreamy idea of a seahorse. So once I like to ink it up, left, right, tap, tap, tap. And I will put my thin cut image on my Versamat so that I can see exactly where I'm stamping. And I just take my time and I give it a good pressure. Okay, so that's how easy it is. So I am of the, I like to do all my thin cuts first and then I stamp, rather than stamp and then use washi tape to hold the thin cut to it and crank it through. I don't have the patience for that. So I find you'll get really good at doing this when you take your time, okay? So there are different ways that you can, color these in. I do not own the watercolor pencils. It is just not my thing for some reason. Maybe I should learn someday, but I'm a little bit more interested in things that I have on hand, right? I have a lot of ink pads, and I'm sure you do too. And I'm sure you have started to collect all of the shimmer brushes, right? All the colors. So let's just talk briefly about shimmer brushes, because that's another great way that you can add color. But here you can see these are all of the colors. We have sapphire, mint, and julep. And julep actually is one that I highly recommend with this particular kit. We'll be using mint. And then we have some newer colors that came out. I'm using toffee and lagoon. And there are 2 new ones coming. So right now we have 15 with 2 more shimmer brushes. They're just so great to work with. What ink colors am I working with? I'm working with toffee. I'm working with mint. I sold my new lagoon, so I still have my old ink pad. And as far as yellows go, you can use canary, lemonade. You might even own creme brulee from a long time ago. Just any color yellow would work. But this is the one that's still available right now. So that will give you an idea. And water brush, okay? So the water brushes, there's a medium. This is your medium point. Can you see that? And this is your fine point. There you go. You can see it now. And all I'm doing with a water brush, and I want to show you how easy this is. The water brush is about $7, and it's the best investment. And you're just filling that with water. You just take it to the sink and you fill it with water. And that's it. So now I can use this water brush. I can use it with paint, watercolor paint. I can use it with my ink pads. I can use this with chalk and the watercolor pencils. So it's really a great investment, okay? And it will last quite some time. just take care of everything and it will last. So here's your, I'm going to show you the turtle. So here you can see, well, maybe I'll do the seahorse since you can see the turtle here. But you can see the different colors, right? Now I used the inks, a little bit of sponging first in the yellow, and then I used my inks and water brush to add color. And that's how cool it is, and it's easy. This one was a little bit different, and I actually sponged some of this in, and I didn't use any watercolor. So it's a different look, as you can see. And then on the layout, just to give you a little more detail, I played around with the shimmer brushes. So there you can see it. I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but you can see mint, toffee, and lagoon. I wish I had the new yellow that's coming because I would have used that as well. But you can see some sparkle there. So there, it's not hard to do. And, oh, you don't like them either, Rosemary? I don't know why I don't. I just, as a child, as a young girl, I used watercolor pencils to color in, just like crayons. But I never used a water brush. I didn't learn how to do that. So maybe it's just something, you know, I'm not familiar with. So what I did just now, I want to show you, here's the mint. And if you pump it, if you squeeze it, pump it, you can get some color right here. This could be your palette. I know some women have used blocks. You can use your block. I'm going to show you so that you get an idea. You could actually put ink on your block and lift color off this way as well. So that works too. I'm just going to use my ink pad. So I'm going to sit down and just show you. Now I can also take color from the pad as well. And it's just what you like doing. And the reason I use the watercolor paper is because we're dealing with water and it will absorb better than if I use white daisy. I can use white daisy, and you can, but white daisy, if you add, keep going over and over and over it, it will pill. So that's why you want watercolor paper. And it's not that terribly expensive. So I'm just going to dip it in there. And I'll tell you what, this is just very relaxing. So it's whatever I really want the mint to be. And you can see, girls, I am not worrying about the lines and all the details, okay? Now, if my water brush tends to dry out a little bit, you can just squeeze it and get the flow of water going, and that's why you work again on scrap paper. So now you can see there's more, and it will probably happen again. And I'm just going to go. And it was just fun just to play and to play around with this. So that's my mint. And I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. Let's see how the yellow comes out. I'm going to use canary. Now let's use lemonade. Let's see how the lemonade works. So just to clean it, you can just pull it across. But since mint was a light color, it's not that big a deal. And I'll put some yellow in here. And what's nice about it is that you can cross over the colors. There really isn't anything right or wrong to do, and it's really easy. Oh, thanks, Karen. I'm glad you liked the layout. Hi, Arlene. I'm just kind of looking over at my computer screen as I'm working with you here. So you can just take your colors and go over another color as well, and it just changes the look, and it's going to add some shading. Okay, that's enough of yellow. The canary was fun, and the lagoon is fun. So this is an older ink pad. I know some of you still have that, so I'm going to pump that lid, and I'm going to show you just to give you an idea that the color is here, and it's sometimes a good idea to see how much color you get on your brush before you go to your project. And then sometimes just take it from the pad and see what you like better. So this was a little bit lighter to me, and that's what I want right now. It's just a little bit lighter. I mean, the water brushes, they just do a great job of capturing color from a lot of the product you already have. So when I have this little detail, I might want to switch to the little brush. It really does help get into that finer line. And you know what else you can do? You can come back with the little brush and maybe add a little depth along those lines. So you kind of get the idea. A little bit of shading. I am not an artist when it comes to this. I am just going by eye. I have no schooling when it comes to coloring, and I'm just going to add, you know, the colors that I think make a difference. Okay, now let's add the toffee, right? And pump my Lynn and squeeze out a little bit of water, get rid of that lagoon color, and pick up color here. Okay, so you can see, and that really, it's pretty wet. Could also use a paper towel, have a paper towel nearby, or run it through your fingers to get rid of some water. But it's just such a soft, soft look. And it's very forgiving. I think so, anyway. And once again, you're going to see I'm going to go over some areas that I did. That's why the watercolor paper is really helpful. I want to go back up in here and add a little bit of brown. I'll take it from here. I'm going to use the finer tip a little bit here. But you get an idea of how pretty it is. I mean, basically that's done. Now, if you want to go back and add, you can. But for me, I'm pretty much done with that seahorse. And I'll hold it up a little bit closer. Okay, so you can get a better look. I don't know if you can with the color, I mean with the lighting. But that's how you get so many pretty colors, really. Using just a few tools, your water brush and the inks you have, okay? So that's a really cool look. And this one, I'm going to show you the difference. Whoops, let me pick that up. So here's the other one. So I'm going to tell you what happened. I did the whole thing in the watercolor, and then I decided to go back over with the shimmer brush. And I really like the shimmer brush too. But that's up to you. I mean, there's no right or wrong, but you can see it's so pretty and how the colors blend. And you would never know that lagoon was on there. But it just makes it, I don't know, attractive to work with. Try different things. So I wanted to show you the shell. I want to show you the shell and how I did that with a little bit of shimmer brush. So I'm going to use the lemonade. And now I'm going to show you with the sponge dauber, right? So this is another thing that you can do, even in this turtle. I'm going to show you that you can actually just create a color, and then I can go in and do what I did with the seahorse and work around it with all the watercolor and inks. Or I can use shimmer brushes. So here in this case, I'm going to show you that I'm taking this seashell, and just so you know, we're not selling these sponge daubers anymore, but I do have a bunch in stock if anybody is interested. I love my little finger daubers. So now you can see all I did was the lemonade, and canary would be a little bit darker, but just I wanted you to see. And basically, that is adding a little bit of shimmer. So here's our new toffee, right? And for those of you, I'll open one. This is new. This is evergreen. And I'm going to show you how to open up and get one of your brushes started. So let me do that. Sometimes you girls forget. You need a refresher, so that's what I'm here for. Okay, so you have a new shimmer brush, taking it out of the package, and you can see this little yellow piece. It's thrown in the garbage. All right? We will roll it back up, and I'm going to pop the top off. I really want this to be tight, and it is, to the barrel, okay, so there's no space in here. And these dots are just telling you to push or really to squeeze. So you want to shake it up, and you want to break up the tip because it's stiff when you first get it, and you want it to be nice and soft. And where's that piece of crappy paper? So you just squeeze it, and you're going to see how it starts to come down the barrel. And this is the new Evergreen. And that's all you do to get it started. So you can you see that pretty shimmer? Love that. But that's all you do to get it started. Okay, so now I have my new brush. I'm not using that right now. All right, so here's your toffee. And what I did is you always want to shake up your shimmer when you're ready to use it. And sometimes you might find it's a little dry. Once again, squeeze it out. Test it on scrap paper. But I'm going to start down here and just add a little color at the bottom. And I'm just going along. And who would have thought that this toffee would be so pretty on the shell? And just where the scallop part is, just color that in a little bit. And I'm also going to add the julep just a little bit of green. And it kind of looks a little bit like an olive color. And that's it. That's really all you need to do. I mean, that's really, really cool. That is just so easy. Okay, so you could do less if you want. It's up to you what you want to do and change the look. But that's really how easy it is. And, you know, doing the turtle, you could do it with a shimmer brush. You can do it with your water brushes and just having fun. So we'll just show you a little bit of that again. If you want, you can just take some color right off of the pad. This is Lagoon. And you can combine the watercolor as well as the shimmer brush. I'm just going quite fast right now, just to give you an idea. Here's this julep. And the julep, I just love the julep with this. It just, I never thought that it would give it that color. That it's a little bit like an olive. So this is just giving you an idea, but there's more that much more you can do so that you can have it look like that. Now this didn't have any shimmer on it. This is all water brush, but this will just show you, I mean, I'm nowhere near done. I would keep playing with this, and that's the beauty of it, that you can keep going over it with other colors and change the look completely. So it's not done. It's just showing you how easy and fast it can be. Another thing I wanted to tell you is, you know, the shimmer, if it bothers you, if you're scrapbooking and it might shed a little bit of shimmer onto your page protector, this is what I did. I took one and I colored it with the toffee. I did a little sponging with yellow, or water brushing, I should say. And then I used liquid glass on top, so that will set it. So you can do that as well. Can you see the liquid glass? There you go. So if that would bother you, you know, you can definitely do something like that. I would do all my pieces, let them sit out overnight. This was really small. This dried pretty quickly, but that's another alternative of what you can do. And here's my chamois. So your chamois is good to clean off all your pieces. That's why you want to have a stamp chamois. can clean your blocks. It can clean your stamps. Your stamps are going to be stained from using the black ink, okay? So, all right, so I hope you found that helpful. There's more that you can do, definitely more that you can do and have fun with, but I just want to give you an idea. It's really not hard. It really isn't hard at all to have fun with your tools and your inks.